We are back with a very distinguished guest who has seen several combat tours around the globe. He's authored a book called Book of Man, a Navy SEAL's Guide to the Lost Art of Manhood. And he's also starred in the film Act of Valor. It is my great pleasure to welcome to the program Derrick Van Orden. Derrick, welcome. It's good to see you.
Well, it's good to see you too. How are you doing?
I am well. I've looked at a bunch of things about you, and I just can't believe it. You're a writer, an actor, a soldier. I guess you're a restaurateur also, aren't you?
Well, just to clear something up, I was a sailor, not a soldier. And yeah, my wife and I decided to open a small cafe, and I sold it a couple of years ago, but that was really a fantastic experience helping out our community with that. It was,
and then I understood that because you were so bored with life, you started to study law?
I did. Yes, I have. I figured it's a good thing to look into. I absolutely love America, and you know, we are a nation of laws, and so understanding how those are written and how they should be interpreted appropriately was very important to me to learn. Yeah.
And now you're going to be going on to become a politician. If I look at all these things, it looks like a guy who couldn't keep a job.
I know. Well, I kept one for about 26 years, but yeah, man, I really got fed up with what's going on. And I've decided that you know, I should be acting to correct this.
That's good. That's good. Well,
hi, Derrick. Hi, this is April, the other anchor. And so you're running for Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District. Can you give our viewers your platform?
Sure. My name is Derrick Van Orden, and I've been married to my wife, Sarah Jane, for 27 years. I was in the military for about 26, and just under 21 of those as a Navy SEAL. During that time, I deployed to combat 5 times. We live on a small hobby farm here in Hager City in Pierce County. And my platform is based on 7 words from the Declaration of Independence. Those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And everything we hold dear as Wisconsinites and Americans are nested under those 3 principles. So life, for instance, I am pro-life, and I believe that life should be protected whenever possible. Liberty, right now, in 2020, April 2nd, it's kind of a strange time to be speaking about personal liberties. But we have liberties that are ensconced in our Constitution of the United States, and I think that those should be defended. As far as the pursuit of happiness, we as Americans are not guaranteed happiness. We're guaranteed the pursuit of happiness, and how we become happy as Americans as we have our government stand out of our way and let us take charge. What I will be doing if the people of the 3rd District of the state of Wisconsin choose to send me to Washington, D.C., is I'm going to bring proven, tested, and mature leadership to the U.S. House of Representatives, because unfortunately it is sorely lacking at this point.
You'll be challenging the seat held by Ron Kind, if I've got my districts correctly?
That is correct.
Okay.
I tell people that I'm not running against Ron Kind. He is going to be running away from us.
Well, that's very good. What's your reactions to what Governor Evers has been doing with respect to some of these orders that he's been giving, and particularly one that he wants to extend indefinitely, from what I understand, the temporary ban? I didn't quite understood what he meant by that, but perhaps you could enlighten our viewers.
Okay. One of my final jobs was to write the Special Operations Forces responses to crisis actions in any of the countries in the entire continent of Europe. And with that said, there's some things that you should and should not do. But I want to be really clear here. I am a citizen of the state of Wisconsin and of the United States. And during these times in particular, this is when we actually listen to our elected officials and we don't insult them. However, they also don't get a pass. So how some of the things have gone down with the release of these orders need to be corrected. For instance, if you really are facing a crisis and you want to have the best outcome, you should contact all of the people that hold any type of stake in that endeavor. So Senator Fitzgerald, Speaker Voss should have been immediately called. You get all those people together, you develop a plan, and then you move forward together as a government. Regardless of Democrat party affiliation or Republican Party affiliation, you should move forward as a government, whole government approach. And unfortunately, that did not take place during this thing. As far as indefinitely extending the ability of a government to restrict our constitutional rights, no. That's a hard no, as a matter of fact. The only thing that Wisconsinites and Americans do in perpetuity is be awesome. That's it. We have to listen to our elected officials during these times of crisis, but just like Ronald Reagan said, we must trust but verify. If there is a need to extend this decree, it'll take these guys 20 minutes to do that. There's absolutely no reason at all that we should ever sign off all of our constitutional rights in perpetuity. It's a very bad idea.
Very good. Well, you know, one of his acts recently was to prohibit anyone who didn't pay their rent from being evicted. What do you think of that?
Well, that's number 15, I believe, if I'm correct. And the problem with that is that this does show the fact that Tony Evers is not a businessman and never has been. He's been an educator. Because that is written only so that landlords cannot charge tenants. But unfortunately, he's forgotten that somebody owns the building. So the landlord also has a huge mortgage that he has to pay. So without looking at approaching different types of very smart economic principles, like, for instance, doing forbearance on a loan so that you don't have to pay the principal, you only pay the interest on the loan, would allow these landlords to maintain solvency themselves. That is the thing that where you really can see the difference between having a business person that has had to make real decisions with in a time-critical fashion, and you know, educators. I love the educational system. I think it's fantastic, but unfortunately, there are some deficiencies that come from just having a career in education vice business.
Yeah, excellent perspective.
Derrick, we have about 30 seconds left with you. Do you want our viewers to know if they want to support you, or where would they get more information about you and your run for this office seat?
Well, thank you. We have our website. It's Van Orden for Congress. You can also get on Facebook, Derrick Van Orden. Look that up. And also, I want to say something. The first thing we did as a campaign, because we declared and then all this stuff went down, was we started something called Neighbors Helping Neighbors of the Wisconsin 3rd District. And that's a Facebook page where anybody in the 18 counties that I hope to represent can connect with each other at a super, super grassroots level. If you need something, you post it by your county, and if you can provide something, you post it by your county. So that's really been the focus of our whole campaign, is just helping our constituents, because if we were acting in a time of crisis and we had the ability to help people, and we did not, we used that for selfish political reasons, I would never ask anyone to vote for me. So our focus now is our Neighbors Helping Neighbors of the Wisconsin 3rd District. That's on Facebook, and then our website is Van Orden for Congress.
Good luck. Thank you for joining us, Derrick.
Thanks a lot.